The BLT.
Nice.
I'll make sure not to put it in a nice bag back. It's pretty big.
We're missing a spot. Definitely is. It's your friend. Bro, I don't know why.
At this time, let's meet the starting lineup for today's contest. First, for the visiting Badgers, a senior goalkeeper, number 0, Isabel Atkinson. A freshman forward, number 3, Mariah Stefanik. A sophomore defender, number 8, Shelby Royer. A junior defender, number 10, Abby Davis. A freshman forward, number 14, Anna Fairweather. A sophomore forward, number 15, Jenna Jones. A senior midfielder, number 16, Ida Eames. A senior defender, number 17, Peyton Fairchild. A junior defender, number 21, Maddie Power. A senior defender, number 22, Katie Plant. And a junior forward, number 24, Olivia Davis. Vermont State Johnson is under the direction of head coach Norm Peterson. And now, let's meet the starting 11 for your Husson University Eagles. In goal, a senior from Manchester, New Hampshire, number 1, Madison Weigler. A sophomore from Bucksport, Maine, number 5, Ella Hosford. A senior from Westport, Massachusetts, number 8, Laura Martell. A junior from Sheffield, England, number 10, Evie Flint. A freshman from Eddington, Maine, number 11, Jackie Pangburn. A senior from Guatemala City, Guatemala, number 14, Marilla Corletto. A senior from Herman, Maine, number 19, Madison Higgins. A senior from Deerfield, New Hampshire, number 23, Kaylee Knoll. A freshman from Tinley Park, Illinois, number 28, Taya Gerfin. A junior from Corinth, Maine, number 30, Riley Speed. And a junior from Petoskey, Michigan, number 33, Emma Nicholson. The Eagles are coached by Dennis Mullins, and he's assisted by Nick Christensen, Matt Goodman, Chris Selby, and Megan Buddymeyer. Fans, at this time, we ask you please rise and honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Welcome to Boucher Field as the Husson women's soccer has game 2 of their weekend doubleheader against the Vermont State University. Johnson yesterday took down Linden with a record-breaking 18 goals, not allowing a single one. Caden Trenwith alongside Philip Robarge. Phil, what is going to be the answer for this Badgers team to slow down Husson, who's coming off a hot start?
Well, Husson got that big start from their substitutes, and I think that's going to be a big thing for Linden, is to just slow down, not Linden, Johnson, to just slow down Husson's players as they come in off the bench and bringing that energy as they so often do. I think that's going to be a big, big test for them today.
Johnson on a 4-game win streak of their own as they took down MCLA 5-0, Canton 3-0, the same Linden team 14-0, and took down Umpy yesterday 1-0. But one thing against them right now, they've had a lot of travel going from Vermont all the way down, going to Vermont to Umpy and now back down to Bangor. They have had a long weekend, and this Eagles team has a very big bench.
Yeah, they have, Caden, but, I mean, they've shown that even in their travels, they can show up and play. Tiredness, of course, always a factor when you talk about travel, but this team has shown that they can handle it really well. They certainly score a lot of goals, and they're a pretty tough team defensively, so Husson might have a lot more of their work cut out for them than they did yesterday.
A little bit of a different lineups for Coach Mullins' team. Hosford getting the start, Corletto, same with Evie Flint and Jackie Pangburn. 4 names we haven't really seen in the starting lineup. Pangburn has been in and out of there. But what name sticks out for both of these lineups that we're going to have to watch out for?
I think firstly for the Eagles, I think Ella Hosford is one who really had a huge impact, of course, getting her first goal involvements yesterday, and she was one that just Linden had trouble slowing down every time she got the ball. I think always Jackie Pangburn is somebody to look out for, and I think for this Johnson team, I mean, you got to look to the forwards here. 19 goals in all from them, and of course the 3 starters out there today contributing to 18 of those goals, so I think the 3 of them are really going to be the big test for the Eagles today.
It's a long ball off the start for Johnson. They're trying to control it in the midfield, but Husson will take the advantage. Madison Weigler didn't get the start yesterday, the senior getting the start on day 2. Gabriella Smith, the freshman, picked up the start. She didn't face a shot the entire game, but picked up her second collegiate shutout.
Yeah, a little bit of a rest for Weigler, but again, back in the starting lineup now, I would expect that she will see quite a few shots today, so she'll have to be ready.
Johnson trying to play the long balls early, but this one will be caught offside. Good high line from the defensive backfield for the Eagles.
I think that would have been something that Coach Mullins would have told them to do, especially because of just the threat that they possess on the ball and, of course, in front of goal. But as always with Husson, you got to watch out for the offside.
Another offsides call early here. No, they'll actually call it a foul. The ref's arm went up first, but foul was called. No, they will stop it. She was offside, and it will be an Eagles free kick.
Yeah, the referee maybe not seeing the flag right away, signaling for the foul, but he made sure to go back and get that one right.
Taya Gerfen, 4 assists so far this season in her freshman year. Most of them come from opportunities like that. Her taking the ball down the wing, forcing it inside on a left-footed cross. She has been mighty dangerous on this touchline.
Yeah, she has, and I expect her to have a big game again because she just always seems to get a ball in like this one.
Pangburn with the header, but that one's going to go wide and will be out for a goal kick. Nice feed in. Pangburn just couldn't direct it.
And how many opportunities did we see of that yesterday? They kept going back to the well, and it didn't produce yesterday as much as they'd quite like, but it proved successful nonetheless. I think they'll continue to go down, spreading Johnson wider and using Gerfen and Hosford on the wings.
Hosford feeds it into Pangburn, who couldn't control it, and will be out for another goal kick. This is where the Eagles' defense seems to be at its best. I know they have the reigning North Atlantic Conference Defensive Player of the Year in the backfield, Emma Nicholson, who's had a great start to her first year as an Eagle, but their press in the offensive zone when they lose that ball causes so many turnovers and allows them to flip defense to offense so quickly. Teams just don't seem to be ready for it. This ball played in. Pangburn is going to have a go at it, but Atkinson will come off her line, jump up and grab the ball. Badgers 5-2-1 on the season. Only losses coming back-to-back to Potsdam and Plattsburgh, both on the road.
What's interested me about those games is, other than the 6-1 loss to Plattsburgh, I mean, they don't necessarily give up a lot of goals, especially away. Their only other match being a 1-0 loss. Certainly something that the Eagles will have to watch out for as this game continues.
Much of that is the credit of Atkinson over her 4 years as a Badger. Only around 2 goals allowed per game, hovers around an 80% save percentage as well. Someone who, you score 1 against her, she's not going to allow another one too easy.
Exactly. She's been just a steady pair of hands for the Badgers, and it showed on the scoreline. I mean, they've picked up results just off the back, as you said, of that defense. But as they take the ball marching into Husson's territory, one thing to watch out for are these defenders. I mean, they provide just a lot of support. 6 assists for them combined. They certainly are able to really create a lot of offense.
Nolt with a big hit. She's going to look for Pangburn. 2-on-2 opportunity if she can get a touch around, which she does. Leaves Roya back there, but it will be out for a corner. Couple goals off corner kicks yesterday, Phillip. What do the Eagles like to do on these?
Well, they can do one of 2 things. We saw them go to the back posts and a few to the front post. Sometimes they crowd the keeper. They look like they're going to go and get in behind the back post. Maybe Hosford will go to the near post.
This one played right on the PK. Gerfen gets up. Saved by Atkinson. Kicked away. Eagles arguing for another corner, but it will be a goal kick. Big first save by Atkinson off a Taya Gerfen header.
It was a great save, Caden, but I like the aggressiveness from the Eagles on that corner. Emma Nicholson just right there. Couldn't necessarily put it home that time, but that's certainly what Dennis Mullins will want to see, crashing the net when they do get the headers in.
Atkinson twitching the arm a little bit. A little slow to get up at first as well. Wonder if that hurt her on the way down, but it'll be a throw in from the Eagles off the goal kick. 65 shots in total yesterday for the Eagles, forcing the Linden goalkeeper to make 20 saves. 18 of those found the back of the net. Just a dominant display of offense, wasn't scared to shoot at all, and that's something the Eagles have had for a mentality under Coach Mullins. If you have the space, you take that shot, and that is something that they lived up to yesterday.
Yeah, I don't quite think we'll see as many today, but certainly that is just an incredible stat line, and certainly something that would have been a talking point for the Badgers, is just how to limit those chances. But a lot of yesterday for Linden, a lot of their strong points were limiting Husson when they get inside the box, forcing players like Paige Dunn to just take them outside of the box, and it, at least for the first 20 minutes, proved to be almost an answer for Linden, as they were holding Husson without a goal until then. And I think I wouldn't be surprised if Johnson try and do the same here.
Patient! Okay, get one. Hey, get one.
Nolt gives it up to Pangburn. Touches it out wide for speed. Trying to feed it back to Pangburn. The pass just a little bit behind her as Johnson looks now to counterattack. Jones in the striker position. Badgers trying to feed her the ball early. 5 goals so far this year, coming off 4 goals off of last season. Someone who can find the back of the net if Eagles let her free. Speed picks it up as she tries to dribble through the midfield.
Be patient, move it.
Evie Flynn getting her first start. She finds Hosford right at the corner.
Yeah, Flint was another one of those players for Husson that came off the bench yesterday and just did extremely well right out of the gate. It's not surprising here to see her start. But it was hard in that performance to find one Eagle that wasn't just absolutely playing to their peak. You know, the fact that they were able to set that record, Caden. But not only that, I mean, they could have scored more. They'll feel that they would have wanted to score more. That's just the mindset that they have. Never satisfied.
First to it. Good, Jackie. Yes, Ella.
I believe Hosford was called for a foul there, so it'll be a free kick for the Badgers.
Yeah, I believe that one just went off her arm, Caden.
Bounce in the middle.
But again, Husson are just providing so much pressure. Johnson just do not have the time on the ball. When they get it, it's almost like they're covered by 2 or 3 black shirts right away.
Open up, Em. Find it, Marilla.
Be interesting to see because Husson, I don't think, will have too much possession. Certainly not as much as they had yesterday. Be interesting to see now how they can adjust to that.
Nicholson with a couple touches up through the midfield. A defender coming up with heat. Turns over for the Badgers. Stefanik forces it in, trying to find Jones. Higgins is there to disrupt the pass. Speed will pick it up for the Eagles and clear it away.
Yeah, good job by Higgins there to just get in front of it, not allowing her inside. That could have been a dangerous chance.
Good ball there from Flint. They try to find Gerfin on the outside. Pangburn coming in with some heat. Atkinson is going to have to clean it up for her defense.
And we're seeing a little bit early Ida Eames just disrupting that pass to Gerfin. I think they're recognizing that Husson will use her as well as Speed on the wings. They're going to look to deny them wide and force them up the middle here.
We've seen the Badgers try to play along pretty much a kickball strategy, trying to get it up to their forward pair, but the back line of Higgins, Nolt, and Nicholson have just been locked down so far. Not allowing too many runs. The only opportunity that came for the Badgers was off a Weigler missed pass. Pass to Fairweather goes awry. Hosford's trying to force it to her other partner in crime in Pangburn. But the relentless pressure by the Eagles keeps it in the offensive zone. Badgers turn it back. And they find Corletto's foot. Big boot by Higgins. Get past the defender. Pangburn's running onto it. She's going to get closed down. Good defending there by Roya.
Again, Roya just stopping the chance there, making sure she is goal side, not allowing Pangburn to really get a clean shot away. Certainly part of their game plan today to just frustrate those Husson attackers.
Riley Speed will take it. She can normally get it right towards that PK. She does. Evie Flint had the first header. I think Martell had the second leg on it, but it goes away for a goal kick.
It was a good ball in. It got past that near post and just couldn't quite fall for Flint as she'd want it. But it was a nice idea. It just didn't work out that time.
Pass to Ida Ames. Goes out of bounds for an Eagles throw-in. We're just seeing this a lot right now from the Badgers. They just can't seem to get settled and find their own feet. Really struggling finding one of their teammates trying to force something up the field. A lot of it has just gone out for throw-ins, killing the counterattack.
Yeah, we're not seeing quite as much movement off the ball as perhaps Johnson would want. But as you mentioned, Caden, they're defenders. The ones that are going to provide them the most opportunity offensively are just not able to have as much time on the ball. They look up and there's immediately a Husson player right there. And the aggressiveness of players like Nicholson early to just deny the forwards once they do get the ball, just deny them anywhere to go with it. It's good strategy from Husson.
The other direction.
Well, free kick here, Caden. A good chance here to just get one into the box.
Kaylee Nolte certainly has the leg for it. We've seen it before. This one played in. Jackie Pangburn had the last attempt at it, but Atkinson will scoop it up.
I think she was aiming there for Flint, but just a little too high for her. Pangburn there, though, just, again, not able to quite finish it. Still, though, just a reminder of how dangerous these Eagles can be, whether it's on a corner or a free kick like that.
Come on now. Come on, run through.
Pangburn trying to win it back in the midfield, but good play there by Power to get it up to her forward pair. Davis trying to give it back to Power on a through ball, and it will go out for a goal kick. Two midfielders we're used to seeing getting ready to check in. Actually, they'll call this one a corner. It must have gone off an Eagle, taking a slight deflection, but Paige Dunn and Haley Tarbox getting ready to check in. Two pair that forced a lot of havoc yesterday against Linden.
Watch the short.
Well, this corner here, you have options
Riley, no, stay where you are.
for the Badgers. Look
Stay
for
where you are.
Eames to maybe get one on.
This one skimmed across. Good attempt there, but cleared away by Hosford, who's just going to grab it and kick it up to her pair of Pangburn.
Great job there dealing with the danger.
Pangburn wins the first one, trying to run through it, but good defense by Davis just to clear it away. And now Tarbox and Dunn will come in for Evie Flint and Laura Martell.
And as you mentioned, Hayden, just a lot of creativity from the two of them here. Both Dunn and Tarbox can really play a pass and help sort of the flow of Husson's attack. Is not that they've been wasteful with any of their chances, but you certainly do think that there is a little bit to be desired as far as some of the passes that are finding Pangburn or Hosford.
Tarbox with 2 goals yesterday, Dunn with 1 goal and 2 assists. They look to add more to what's been a stellar weekend for the Eagles. Dunn finds Gerfin, who has a lot of green in front of her. She'll try to take a shot, but this one's well wide, and it'll be out for a goal kick for Atkinson and the Badgers.
It was a great pass initially by Dunn, and Gerfin just too big of a touch for her. She had to run onto it more than she'd want to, and that's why it went wide. It's good play from Husson. You could see the immediate impact, though.
Gerfin wins the first ball off the goal kick. Settles it down. Tarbox finds Hosford. Hosford, not sure if that was a shot or more of a misdirected cross, but either way, it'll go out for a goal kick.
I think that one, she was looking to shoot there. She just didn't turn enough on there, and that's why it looked so wide. But again, we're seeing the impact, both Dunn and Tarbox involved in the last two chances. And we're seeing the aggressiveness just again from the Eagles. Certainly a strong point for them yesterday, and again proving today on those goal kicks, just being aggressive, winning the first and second balls.
Gerfin trying to find Hosford, but shut down by the Badgers' back line.
Yeah, just no way through there. Again, Johnson just unable to really find that final ball and play on the counter there.
Speed of Addie Lasley checks in. She's in definitely a conversation for a NAC first team honor. She has 6 goals and 3 assists already on the young season, only 8 games in for her.
She's simply a difference maker for this team, and again, didn't get the start today, but she's one that absolutely dangerous as she couldn't quite get to that one.
Pangburn's going to be told by the referee after that collision with Atkinson to settle down a little bit. That one was all Atkinson's ball. Pangburn ran into it.
Yeah, it might have been a case there, Caden, of just
game for Husson, number
she was
6,
looking at the
Addie
ball as it
Lasley.
came over the top, and sometimes you can sort of forget where the goalie is. Definitely don't think it was anything intentional, and the referee doesn't either.
Tarbox, fancy footwork through the middle. She's going to try to find Pangburn, but again, shut down by the back line. That one was Fairchild shutting it down.
And they're just Fairchild that time, and I mean, we've seen it earlier. They're just forcing those Husson forwards to hold their run a little bit, and they're just stepping too quicker than those forwards. That's why they're denying the passes just like that.
Good recovery there by the Eagles as the back line figures it out after one of the most scary moments so far of the game for them.
Yeah, Stefanik definitely looked in that time, but I mean, if you're Johnson, you can't be happy with how much possession the Eagles are having in this one. Certainly that could have been, they'll feel that that could have been a big chance.
Neat spin by Tarbox. She finds Corletto, just playing it back to Higgins, seeing what she can find. She's going to try to find Gerfin. Lasley up with it as well. Cleared away again by the Badgers.
Stand it up. Hold it up. Hold it up. Again.
Give and go with Corletto and Gerfin, just a tad overcooked, and a deep throw-in for the Badgers. These are the throw-ins for the Badgers that can be really dangerous with the relentless pressure that Husson plays. Can cause a very quick turnover.
Into the game for Johnson, number 11, Leighton
Again, you
Fenyas.
mentioned just the impact of those defenders, the wide players able to just get a ball up quick and play in the 2 forwards up there.
Sophomore from Massachusetts, Leighton Fenyas, comes into the game. Checks in immediately on the far side wing. Both these teams perfect so far in Northland and Conference play. Sitting at 2-0. One of them will face their first loss of the year in the conference. Corletto wins it in the midfield, trying to find Pangburn off the touch. This one's just booted away.
Well, we could see early the effects of Johnson's defense, forcing Pangburn to play a little bit deeper than perhaps she'd like.
Pangburn trying to force it across. Now she does. Lasley with the header. Off the post. Rebound. Lasley still trying to find someone. Finds Paige Dunn. Off a Badger. Now this one's outside. Eagles trying to resettle it. Badgers just trying to clear it away. Badgers survive a scary chance for the Eagles, and now they're trying to force it down the other way. Here's Ives, but a slide tackle by Nicholson forces it out and will allow the defense to reset.
Again, great job by Husson's defense to be just so aware, but I don't know how that ball didn't cross the line, Caden. There's just so many opportunities for the Eagles there, but again, just crucial blocks, the defense just standing tall. We're starting to see why they don't allow many goals. There's a great save as well.
Go to it.
Pangburn to Nolt. She's going to find Speed, who stays on side. Flag doesn't go up. Speed takes a touch towards the baseline, trying to feed it across. This one off the post again. 2 in the span of a minute for the Eagles. Score remains 0-0.
Again, it was a great job by Speed to just the timing of her run. Able to be free there, and the ball, again, just hitting the post. The Eagles getting unlucky not to be 1-0 up here.
Possibly a wake-up call for the Badgers. Has a couple close chances. Here's Addie Lasley trying to force it in, forcing it across. Can't find the foot of Pangburn, and it will go out for a corner. A scary 2-minute span here for the Badgers as the Eagles look to capitalize on some great opportunities.
Well, certainly, Caden. I mean, that Pangburn immediately putting her hand up saying, my bad, because that's just a great ball by Lasley. Great effort to get around her defender. But the Eagles look so dangerous, but when you are looking this dangerous, Caden, you do have to put one of these in the back of the net. They've come close, but, I mean, as it stands, it's still 0-0.
Lasley feeds it in, trying to find someone. No one can get their head on it. Badgers trying to clear it away, but picked up by Higgins, forces it back out to Lasley.
Yeah, that ball there was to Gerfin, but it was just a good header away by Maddie Power.
Badgers just trying to get it out of their own zone right now. Eagles turn it into a throw-in for themselves. Paige Dunn trying to get one to Addie Lasley. That one's going to go out for a corner. Good pressure by Dunn and Lasley. Forces the mistake by Fairchild.
Yeah, you can see what they're trying to do, Caden, trying to hold it up and force a goal kick, but always risky playing it like that.
Let's go, Kaylee. Get
Got a
one.
corner now. They've gone to Gerfin a few times. See if they look to her again.
Ball in by Lasley. Trying to find Tarbucks. That one's just going to go up and over. Redo it again. That one took a hit off a Badger.
Yeah, Fairweather there again, just beating Tarbox in the air. Might look to the near post again here.
They do. Tarbox touches it across. No one's there across the 6-yard line. And it will go out for an Eagles throw-in.
Well, again, Caden Husson having all the chances. It was a great ball across, but nobody there that time.
Swing it.
Simple, simple.
Here come the Badgers now, finally, after some relentless pressure by the Eagles, trying to find some opportunities of their own. So it goes out for an Eagles throw-in. Couldn't find the long ball as Devin St. Louis checks in for Jackie Pangburn.
And you mentioned it, Caden, just that first bit of possession after a long spell of defense. And Johnson
Checking in
just
for Johnson,
aren't
number
looking
2,
as confident
Elizabeth
on the
Love,
ball
and number 4, Soraya
as maybe
Dominguez. And into the game
they'd
for
like
the
to be.
Eagles,
They
number
just they
13,
have
Devin
a
St.
little
Louis.
bit more time than maybe they think. But another ball going astray. They just can't be overly happy with the way their offense has been performing. Of course, not the case for their defense, who they've had to rely on and who have been really strong.
5 shots so far for the Eagles, but 2 to the post, not counting as a shot on goal. Technically, only 1 has challenged Atkinson officially in the stat book. Higgins trying to find a long ball. She finds Gerfin. Takes a little bit of a wonky bounce. Touch to the baseline. Gerfin, left-footed cross, trying to find somebody on the 18. Couple shots blocked by Lindsay Reed and Paige Dunn.
Press it.
Well, Gerfin there, just nice bit of skill to create that chance, putting a ball in, but again, it's just the resilience of the Johnson defense. Seems like everybody's putting in a shift here to just try and get on the ball first. But one thing I will say in this first half hour or so is that I really like the way that Husson haven't been just resorting to those long shots that they did yesterday.
Good ball in there by Dunn. Lasley trying to run onto it, but she'll back off as Atkinson got it. And she will take her time, I imagine. They just got to find a way to challenge the Eagles' back line. It was just become more of an offensive weapon than a defensive weapon, forcing immediate turnovers, playing the long ball into Lasley, St. Louis, or Dunn. Just finding ways to create more opportunity and hounding down the Johnson defenders. Here's Dunn now, trying to find Gerfin. Gerfin gets in behind the defense, crosses it across, trying to find Lasley. Lasley can't get there. Lindsay Reed and Devin St. Louis can't connect. And it'll go wide for a goal kick.
Yeah, just first chance there for St. Louis to really get a clean strike. And she was just looking to just place it in that corner, just placed it a little too wide. But again, we just saw a pass there, and it was able to find Gerfin. I believe it was Dunn that made the pass, but just Dominguez for the Badgers just almost all out of sorts there, it seemed. Didn't know what to do with Gerfin.
St. Louis finds Gerfin now. Gives it back to St. Louis, who's going to look to take a long cross in. Trying to find Tarbox, can't get her head down on it. Jillian Long trying to run onto it, saving it from the goal kick. Jillian Long, 2 goals yesterday. Definitely one of the stars of the day. They'll actually call this one a corner. Must have taken a deflection off a Badger. Paige Dunn will be the one to take it.
Leslie coming up. This might be a short corner.
Right over her head. Trying to find Nolt. Can't get it down. Nicholson will pick it up before the touchline. Finds Lindsay Reed. Got pressure on her, so she's just going to try to get it away. Ball finds its way back to Nicholson. Takes a long shot. Nicholson testing Atkinson, but just a little bit wide.
Yeah, just asking 1 or 2 questions of Atkinson. It's the first, or maybe the second real long attempt from the Eagles.
Into the game for Husson, number 25, Cassie Schilter.
They've certainly found a way to get into the box of the 18 box of Johnson. I mean, all those crosses in, you just feel that Husson are going to on the brink of taking one here. A lot of those headers coming very close.
Addie Lasley working her way around. She'll just let this one go out, and it'll be another goal kick for the Badgers. Short one taken. Johnson's just really struggling putting 3 passes together for a breakout opportunity.
They're trying to play short. Earlier they're just trying to play the ball over the top, but they were getting outrun. Now they've switched to more direct approach, but again, none of it seemed to be working here. It's harder to play.
Relentless pressure by the Eagles. When the ball's in the air off the first touch, it's just really halted the Badgers' attack that's been so prominent these last 4 games for them. Now here's an opportunity for the Badgers, but Emma Nicholson just touches away. Gerfin finds it. Quick turn, and now the Eagles are back on the attack.
Overlap. She's on. She's on.
Again, it's so hard, Caden, coming up against a stacked midfield with a lot of players in it like Husson's. It's really hard to just find space short.
Better, Black. That's better.
So it's no surprise that they can't find anything with that, but again, they're also just being outworked on the balls that have gone over the top.
And that's what's so dangerous right now about the midfield out there for Husson. You got Lindsay Reed, Paige Dunn, and Haley Tarbox. Those are your 3 midfielders, central midfielders, I should say. And those are the 3 most dangerous players. Lindsay Reed on the defensive end, just acting as more of a stopper than anything. Very aggressive midfielder on the defensive side. And then Tarbox, the shifty midfielder, and Paige Dunn, the one that can play the long balls wherever she wants. Jillian Long just boots this one up towards Atkinson.
Talk about just a dangerous midfield for the Eagles. It's just not the case for the Badgers. No goal involvements yet from any of their midfielders. It's all come from their defense. And it's certainly something that I think Dennis Mullins would have said to his team: if you can shut down the defense, you stand a good chance against that midfield. And so far, they've taken away both the defense and the midfield.
Lindsay Reed with a great ball in for Gerfin. If she can get there, catches it right before the flag. Now she'll wait for her players to come in. She's going to find Nicholson, who's coming a long way off her line. She'll take a long shot in. Nicholson off the crossbar.
What a save, Caden.
Atkinson just getting a glove on it. Nicholson making the read that Gerfin needed help. Gerfin coming. Putting the perfect through ball in. Nicholson almost had a top cheese opening up the game.
Well, it all started with that great ball by Reed, able to find Gerfin, and of course Gerfin doing what Gerfin does, but Nicholson, I mean, how close. She could not have placed that any better.
Addie Lasley commits a foul inside the box, basically a goal kick here for Johnson.
Yeah, fingertip save, Caden, to just get that one back onto the crossbar, and then it was a good job there by Ward to just hold up possession there and draw a foul.
Swing. Norm, that was a world-class save. That was a world-class save. Brilliant.
Dennis Mullins giving cheers to Atkinson as Jillian Long tries to find someone across the 18. Couldn't find the Eagles' foot. Throwing for the Eagles.
No, it was good marking there from Johnson and made it look like just a bad pass at the end, but they're just certainly able to shut down those Husson attackers.
St. Louis called for a push. You want to talk about bending but not breaking. I feel like that's the perfect explanation for this Johnson defense right now. Seeing the post get hit 3 times early. 6 shots. Only 2 of them count on goal for Husson.
Well, it's just a matter now, kid, of can they keep up this intensity?
Hitting the crossbar is one thing, but there's also been several opportunities by the Eagles. Obviously just getting the foot on the ground, just ball not finding where it needs to go.
Well, it's certainly something that the Eagles can, or Lyndon Johnson can count themselves lucky for, but you have to say from an Eagles standpoint, Caden, maybe one or two of those Dennis Mullins would have felt that his side should have converted on. But we've seen perhaps maybe all of Johnson's cards on the table here in the first half. We'll have to see what sort of adjustment there will be.
One of the warmer fall days here in Bangor. As you can see some of the players turning their t-shirts into pennies. 78 degrees. Supposed to be fall. Now we're up to 78. A little bit of a breeze today. Gusts are up to 20 miles per hour. That does play effect, especially on the goalies.
And one thing, too, that's interesting to mention, we saw a few slips from the players because we did have some rain a couple of days ago. That field would have dried out by now, so I would expect to see or less of those, rather, and a lot more firmness. I don't know. But just one or two slips yesterday that I don't think I would expect to see today.
Kaylee Knoll, goal scorer yesterday. She got some minutes at forward. Typically the lockdown center back. Dennis Mullins putting her in striker in the second half, and she pretty much scored in the first 5 minutes as her debut forward.
And she did, and just certainly showing that offensive prowess. And, I mean, just lacing her foot right through that ball.
5 feet. Swing it.
Tarbox trying to find her options. She just lays it back to Knoll, trying to play a long ball in to the newly introduced Ailey Irons into the game. Schilter taking her space. Finds Lasley, finds Long, who plays a big ball across but goes right out of bounds for the goal kick.
Yeah, maybe just could have taken one more touch on that one. Certainly frustrating for Long. She'll want that one back.
That's what patience gets us, ladies.
But
Keep the ball
it was a
moving.
good effort.
Chances.
A lot of the Eagles able to touch the ball in that one. Good passing around from them.
And again, get up.
And that might do it, Caden. It might be a patient attack and just well-worked play that results in a goal here today.
Haley, go ahead.
Hey, it's dangerous play. She can't play it on the ground.
Paige Dunn almost connects with Addie Lasley. That would have been a interesting goal to say the least. That cross comes in. Looked more like a shot from Paige Dunn that got redirected. Finds the boot of Lasley just right over the top of the goal. Definitely was a tester for Atkinson.
Certainly, as you said, Caden, it was just certainly whipped in there by Dunn. Maybe had one or two thoughts about taking a shot, but decides to pass it there. I think that was a good play either way. But as you mentioned, Caden, just having to test the goalkeeper here in different ways.
Since we've seen the substitution of Dunn, Tarbox, Lasley, and St. Louis, I feel like the Badgers really haven't got past this Husson logo in the center of the field. The midfield and offensive prowess. Ailey Irons now trying to make something happen. It's cleared away by Fairchild, who's been pretty locked down back there. She's cleaned everything up for this Johnson side.
Yes, she has, whether it's been a header that's had to be dealt with or, again, just locking down anybody on her side. She has been pretty crucial.
Checking in for Johnson, number 5, Sadie Baronier.
Bernier, 6 games played on the season, does have a goal scored, the freshman from Morrisville, Vermont. Good jump on the ball by Tarbox. Tries to cut it across the 18. Fairchild there again to shut it down. Lindsey Reed picks it back up in the midfield. Trying to find Ailey Irons. But the Badgers will get it away.
Again, that Husson aggressiveness just resulting in quick back to front there, but Johnson just remaining strong.
Turnover in a dangerous area by Lindsey Reed. Almost forced another quick counterattack by the Badgers.
Again, we're seeing with these attacks from Johnson that play it into the middle and quickly goes right back out. It's like nobody really wants to get it and go up forward. They're looking for a long ball over the top. I mean, it's worked to some degree, but I mean, you got to feel that Husson's prepared for that now. Seems to be a long throw.
That one goes over the head of Nicholson. Nolt's there to try to kick it away. Haley Irons wins her 50-50 battle. Now finds Dunn, who finds Lasley up in the center circle. A quick turnover there. The Eagles get it back. Looking to find someone, trying to find St. Louis. Can't find her. Nice idea by Dunn. Haley Tarbox picks it up. She finds Lasley. Lasley's going to take a shot. This one's just a little bit outside.
Yeah, she could have taken it herself, Tarbox, but she decides to pass it up, and it's not a bad effort from Lasley, from the Eagles.
And that will conclude the first half. A defensive stalemate so far. Johnson have just done great work on the back line, not allowing a goal so far. 11 shots from the Eagles, only 2 of them finding the net, but a lot of those chances finding a post. What is it going to take for the Eagles to finally find the back of the net in this game?
Well, I mean, you just got to get a little bit more aggressive with those headers, Caden. A lot of them, those balls coming in and just taking maybe one too many touches or not enough. You just got to keep getting it in and expecting the service and really just being confident in possession. We've seen Johnson just doing their homework defensively. They know exactly what to do, but as is the case, you can know exactly what to do and still fail to stop it. I think Husson just have to continue with the basics. Go back to what you did against Linden. Those just balls just across the 6-yard box. I mean, we saw a few of them, Hangburn and Lasley, really anybody that was Hosford, anybody that's in there. You know, you got to feel that when they are so close in that one is going to hit the back of the net. But as far as Johnson offensively, you know, there's certainly a lot of work that they can be doing. I think seeing that they don't have as much time on the ball and just are not getting that space, especially over the top, they're able to play that ball over to their forwards. Stefanik has just been really quiet, and it's been just all down to that Husson defense, but I think they really have to focus on making a forward pass when they get the ball. A lot of what they're doing with their first ball is just going backwards, and it's resulting in them losing it. But overall, I think if Husson can just sustain this pressure, I think it's just a matter of time.
13:30 till we bring you the second half here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Caden Trenowith alongside Philip Robarge. Tied at 0. Second half will determine the winner. Half two underway here at John Boucher Field. This is the long ball strategy we normally see from the Eagles off the kickoff. There's an immediate turnover. Not a bad defensive first half for Johnson. A couple opportunities came across. A couple post hit for the Eagles, but Johnson holding strong, and we are still tied at 0. Phil, got the first half stats. What's standing out to you?
Well, again, just those shots by the Eagles. You look at how many chances they've created. I mean, Johnson have just done more than just survive, and you got to feel that Husson need to be more aggressive in their approach. I mean, we've seen them deploy a strategy of getting everyone forward, everyone into the box, but I think I wouldn't be surprised if Dennis Mullins would have told them, don't be afraid to shoot from farther out, and when you do that, make sure you crash the net. You know, we saw a number of goals yesterday come just off of second chances, and I think if you do take shots from further out, you might force Atkinson into 1 or 2 of those. You might get some second chance opportunities.
Addie Lasley with a chance now. Has the numbers. This one takes a deflection and cleared away for another Eagles throw-in. Throw-ins are not something we track on the stat sheet, but it has been dominant in the Eagles' territory. Johnson just getting the ball and trying to clear immediately. It has made for quite a tough task for the Badgers back line, but they've been up to it.
I'll get case in point right there. Just 2 Eagles able to just close down any sort of threat from a throw-in, from a long ball over the top. Just unable, Johnson are, to just really get on hold of the ball with their forwards. I mean, Jenna Jones, who started this game, and we haven't even, she's out there now, we haven't even said her name. It's just been that kind of game for the Eagles, and certainly Johnson coming in here with a defensive strategy. I wouldn't be surprised if they look to move back to front here and try and maybe sneak a goal. They have to get the ball first. They have to be just more consistent with their passes. You mentioned them not able to string past 3, get consistency with their midfielders or their defense. That one will be a handball.
That one off the hand of Tarbox. Eagles bench not happy about it, but this one is going to be one of the first real dangerous chances. Anything can happen off these free kicks. Most of the goals the Eagles have allowed this season have come from situations like this. It will be Fairchild to take it. She's going to cross it in, lands right on the PK, gets around, but cleared by Noltz. That was a very dangerous laying ball, and it will be a throw-in for the Badgers.
That definitely a chance that almost Johnson would feel they would have had to have got something on. I mean, Weigler has not been tested up to this point, and you know, when you go this long without really having to make a save or something, it can certainly, not saying it will, but it can certainly lead to a mistake.
Johnson bench picking it up a little bit now. Hear how vocal they are over the headsets. Coming out of the break with a little bit more spark. I believe that was Fairweather on that free kick opportunity that had the ball, but Nolt got to it first. Evan St. Louis with a touch around. She's got numbers for the Eagles. She's going to find Jackie Pangburn on a through ball, but can't beat the Johnson back line. That's Faya who picks it up. Lasley takes it back, but another forceful pass that didn't find a foot.
It was quick there. Obviously the danger when you do try and play with the ball, play with possession, get more people up, is that you will be sort of exposed in the end and not able to finish off the counter there with the Eagles. But it might take something like that, maybe allowing Johnson to come forward and have more of the ball and sort of get more people forward. That might be the key for the Eagles, to just relinquish some of their possession. Because as it stands, Johnson are more than happy to just sit back and defend.
Johnson did hold Umpy 0-0 going into the half yesterday, but scored in the first 10 minutes of the second half to take that 1-0 victory yesterday up in Presque Isle. Hoping to do the same today down in Bangor. Here's Speed. She's going to find Corletto with a lot of space in the midfield. She dumps it back to Nicholson. Nicholson, who had a rip of a shot in the first half. Good save by Atkinson. It just hit the post and out of play. As this one goes out of play as well, this one's going to be a goal kick.
Again, just another breakdown there for the Eagles. Just, again, and just an errant touch that time by Eddie Lasley. And, you know, again, it's just a matter of making the simple play at this point. You just got to get something on net.
Into the game for Johnson, number 2, Elizabeth Love.
Elizabeth Love reappearing. She comes in for Faya, who had the opportunity. Speed wins it over to Pangburn. Wins the second ball. Lasley touches it down. She's going to try to set it up. She'll try to set up the cross. Speed running in. Can't get to it. Cleared away by the Badgers. Eagles trying to have more pressure there. But just gets out of bounds.
That's exactly.
Chance after chance after chance. Just refusing to capitalize. Refusing to break.
That's exactly what you want to see from the Eagles. That's such determination from Speed there. She wanted it. And in the end, she didn't score, but it's that sort of aggressiveness that will maybe end up in a goal.
Big boot by Nolt trying to find Lasley on the run. Just a little mistimed on Lasley's end, and it will go out for another goal kick.
Well, the last thing this Husson team would want is to not be confident in front of goal. You know, you'll take a goal any way you can get it, but certainly they would have felt after the first half they had that they should be up by a couple here.
Good play by Nolt, killing the counterattack.
Not too much desperation to really get players forward on this attack for Johnson.
Nicholson plays it back to Weigler with pressure on. A little bit of a bouncing pass. Weigler just gets it away. Cross played in. Weigler just picks it up after the first bounce.
Yeah, Jenna Jones in an offside position there. She knew that if she were to get a touch on that she would be called to the offside.
Missed punt.
No! No! No!
What's she supposed to do?
She tripped on her foot.
This is an interesting decision here. Did they blow it dead for the injury or blow it dead for a foul?
The referee didn't immediately point to the spot there. Certainly questions, though.
Can we stop the clock? What are we doing? Sir, stop the clock and play the game. What are we doing? Thank you. Maddie!
So it will be a free kick for Maddie Weigler, who gets it all the way up.
Again, maybe initially might have been one or two thoughts of a penalty there, but from my vantage point, it just didn't look like.
That one with some backspin on it, kind of almost found Reed, and he'll call it for a handball. Dennis Mullins isn't happy about it. 2 handballs to start the second half. Both of them he's complaining about. What are they supposed to do with the hands right next to their side?
If you're protecting their face, what are you going to do about that? What about the sub?
Again, getting back to that shout for a penalty, Jenna Jones just did get there a little bit later for me. There's nothing in it. I think the stoppage was just for the injury.
Push from behind!
All of the Eagles' shots so far come inside the 18. The only 2 that have come from outside are the Emma Nicholson chances.
And I mean, they've proven to be almost costly for Linden, so you got to feel that they're going to look to adhere Paige Dunn with a shot there. She's someone, again, I mentioned it countless times, who can take them from distance.
Gerfin gets it to Lasley. Lasley crosses it. Try to find Pangburn, which puts a head onto it, but it's going to go out for the goal kick.
Again, how many times have we seen that ball over the top to Pangburn, but it's just every single time seems to be dealt with by this Johnson defense. So, I mean,
Checking in
again,
for
if I'm
Johnson,
Dennis
number
Mullins,
5,
I would
Sadie
just
Baronier.
encourage to maybe play outside of the box more and look to set up a shot from there.
Baronier checks back in at halftime. Eagles had the possession share, was 62% in this game. Most of that coming in the attacking midfield zone. Offside on Addie Lasley.
And talking about the possession stats, I mean, that's pretty much what you would expect from a team like Johnson, who have clearly come here with that defense-first mindset. They know that they need to be strong. And they know that in order to do that, that they're going to have to surrender a lot of that possession. And as you mentioned, a lot of that just coming in their own 18-yard box. You see a big challenge there.
I believe that was Gerfin who hit the deck pretty hard on a tough challenge. Referee said all ball plays on.
And that result of that attack just petering out the Eagles. It was just not the greatest of balls by Corletto to try and play speed.
The Eagles have seemed to change their formation up a little bit. Normally more of a 3-back line, but now it's just Nicholson and Nolt, with Corletto playing more of a central defensive role more than usual, and then Gerfin and Speed helping out as much as possible on the back line.
Well, I think that's just a correction, a simple one from Dennis Mullins. He feels that his team are really not going to be tested too much defensively, so try and put more players, give themselves more options in attack, and try and just break the deadlock here.
Saw Maddie Higgins start this game with that pairing of Nicholson and Nolt. Low shot here. First one of the game for the Badgers, and it's low and away for a goal kick for Weigler and the Eagles.
Again, just not a bad idea, trying to catch the Eagles out, but I mean, from a tight angle, Weigler looked to have all of it covered. Don't think it really worried her too much.
Lasley, nice give and go there with Corletto. Just a little bit too much sauce on the pass, and it goes right to Fairchild, who gets it away and allows the Badgers to reset.
Well, that's just it. I mean, they're putting sort of the plug in. Husson advancing too quickly with the ball, kicking it out that time, and allowing your side to get back and reset defensively to just continue to hold strong. They've done a great job of not getting caught out too much.
Big cross there. Here's Paige Dunn, low and away. Just wide up past the outstretched arms of Atkinson, and it'll be a goal kick on the way.
Unlucky there. Dunn just trying to put her laces through it and find that bottom corner, but it's not happening for her this time. But
checking in for Johnson,
like the
number 9,
aggressiveness
Emily Ward.
from the Eagles here. They're certainly not passing it around too much when they have the opportunity. They are looking still to score.
First to this!
Run through it, run through it. Straight up, straight up.
No! How is that possible? She put herself in that position.
Foul called on Nicholson. Jenna Jones, who hit the deck. One of the Badgers' best chances came from a situation like this. A free kick for Fairchild that was played perfectly in. Kaylee Nolt, last-ditch effort to clear it away. Can they break open the scoring? Another big ball played in. Defended by Nolt. Still can't get it cleared. Nolt loses it. And they will call, I believe, a handball on the Badgers. And it'll be a free kick just on the 18.
A disappointment in the end for the Badgers. I mean, that was a great chance. There was a good initial ball in, but Nolt just there to deal with it.
Nolt and Nicholson do have to watch out a little bit. They have been very open about their unhappiness with the man in the middle so far this game. Wonky bounce in the midfield. Lasley picks it up near the half-line mark. Gerfin's going to run onto it, see what she can do. 3-on-2 advantage here. Trying to play it to the back line, finding St. Louis. Touches it back. Here's Tarbox. Can't control it, just has to touch it back. She'll find speed as they hope to regroup.
Back to the corner.
In the end, just the touch let her down at the vital moment. Still
Here's
though.
Nicholson. She'll take another shot. This one's high and wide.
Yep, not a bad idea. Again, certainly the Eagles showing that they could go back to front very rapidly. Ever since that free kick that was given for the Badgers, it seemed like they were really looking for a goal. And again, when they put players up, Husson able to recognize that and able to catch them on the quick counter.
How much time are they going to take?
Riley Speed wins the first ball. And there's a handball again. This one is going to be called on Maddie Power in the middle, taken quickly.
Why? 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 Get together, Black.
The Eagles have not had a fun last 10 minutes with the referee in the middle.
No, they haven't.
Very vocal on the sidelines, very vocal on the field. Knowlton Nicholson at the charge of that. A lot of emotion. Nolt plays it in. This is a great ball. No one can get there.
Again, mentioned just they're voicing their displeasure with the referee, and that will, a yellow card will be issued there.
A yellow card was just given to Paige Dunn.
Hey, she doesn't have to come off for a yellow. She's not coming off the field. This is college guy. I'm right here. I'm right here. You don't have to come off for a yellow.
One or two questions about whether or not a yellow card might have, for some reason, the referee wanting to tell Dunn to exit the field. Again, you don't have to do that with a yellow card. Really not sure.
It is. You do have to do it in Maine high school level. You do have to come off the field for a yellow card. Have to take a short breather. I'm not sure what the yellow card was for. Paige Dunn did hit the ground pretty hard. I'm guessing she must have said something to the referee in protest. But either way, Paige Dunn stays on the field with her yellow card.
And either way, for the Badgers, I mean, this has to play into their hands here. If you can get the Eagles frustrated, you can get them off their game and maybe ensure a result.
Good passing here from the Eagles. Nicholson takes a shot. This one challenges Atkinson, but she's there.
Yeah,
trusty goaltender keeping him in this game.
Again, just a shot from Nicholson. Either way, it was a good shot, but even if it wasn't a good shot, shooting to try and force a rebound there, but the attacker's given nothing on that one.
Good turn by Riley Speed. trying to find some options. She'll find Nolt on the sideline. Corletto doing a great job hanging back. Cross played in, gobbled up by Atkinson.
Again, the center backs taking turns offensively, trying to create a chance. Nolt does that time, but again, clean pair of hands by Atkinson.
Misplayed by Nicholson. It's going to go all the way back. Maddie Weigler forcing to come way off her line to play this one. And it'll be straight out for a Johnson throw-in. Martell and Reed coming into the game. Page Dunn and Corletto coming off a change of the midfield guard.
Yeah, if you remember back to the first half, Lindsay Reed played a great ball into Gerfen, who was able to get one squared up, but just wide again.
Checking in for Johnson, number 11, Leighton Fenyas. And into the game for the Eagles, number 8, Laura Martell. And number 7, Lindsay Reed.
Seeing Johnson suddenly just trying to maybe find a goal. Perhaps they feel that they can catch the Eagles off guard here like they did Umpy.
Big ball played here by Nolt. Good touch by Pangburn. Gets St. Louis out on the run. She finds Pangburn just a little bit too long. Hosford picks it up. Touch on the outside the 18. She's going to find Tarbox. Ball just goes a little awry. Lindsay Reed trying to play a through ball in, and it will go out for a goal kick. That has been kind of what Johnson has done defensively, just making it hard to find those through balls that Husson loves to play. And that's been the reason Husson just hasn't seemed to have the creativity after that through ball goes kind of aside.
Checking in for Johnson, number 14, Anna Fairweather.
We need to win that, Black.
Good step by Lindsay Reed after the coaches scream out to win the ball.
Open up, right, open up.
Nolt looking at her options. Just finds Riley Speed right on the touchline.
I think from a Husson standpoint, I mean, it's hard to say for them to create more creativity than they've already done, but you do have to feel that some of their runs need to be a bit more strategic because they're having trouble just playing that final ball in.
Big ball played in. Pangburn trying to get on the end of it. St. Louis with a touch. That one goes just a little wide for a goal kick.
Yeah, just did not have a lot of time on that one. No time to really get a touch away. And just forced to shoot at that time.
23 to go, 0 stay on the scoreboard, Phil. What's it gonna take?
Well, I mean, from Husson's standpoint, it's seriously harder to throw much more than what they've thrown at Johnson, who, again, defensively have just been so good in providing every single answer. But, I mean, you just got to keep going. You got to be persistent. Good teams know how to do this. I think they have the answers. They just need to find that right combination. You got to believe that there's a goal in it too. As it stands, they'll have to do some defending first.
Good fight by Lindsay Reed. Gets it cleared. And they're going to call another handball on Tarbox, her second of this second half.
Haley, back up.
Haley, just back. Hail back.
Haley Tarbox standing in front so they can't take it quickly. Fairchild's had some good opportunities from the halfway line. This one much, much closer. She takes it. This one's right at Wagler. Her first test of the day. And she catches it early.
That's a big relief for the Eagles there. A goal at this stage, I think, would really make it tough for them.
Stronger! Stronger!
All of a sudden, these last 5 minutes, it felt like Johnson have come alive offensively, forcing some more chances.
I think, again, it might just be a little bit of that frustration for the Eagles. Just allowing maybe these chances for the Badgers.
Checking in for Johnson, number 4, Soraya Dominguez.
Keep it in, let's go!
Frustration definitely building on the sideline. I'm sure you can hear it at home.
That's a push from behind!
Gerfin trying to find Pangbird's feet. Pangbird runs right through it. Finds St. Louis. Shut down. Tarbox picks it up. Hosford trying to get something worked in there. Foul called on Hosford. A little push in the back, and it'll be a free kick for Johnson.
Yeah, again, just another attack, breaking down for the Eagles. Just the aggressiveness of the defense.
Here's an opportunity for Johnson. Smooth slide tackle by Nicholson. He'll be out for a Johnson throw in deep in enemy territory.
Yeah, very timely there. I mean, again, we mentioned just Johnson, not too much of a quick build-up going forward. That was possibly, if they could get that ball over, that could have been the biggest chance of the game for them. So definitely a timely tackle. Now again, Husson having to do some defending.
You can stop the clock anytime you want.
This one takes a touch off Lindsay Reed, so we'll have a corner kick. The set pieces have been the biggest question mark for the Eagles to start this year. A couple goals off either a free kick and 30 yards out or corner kicks like this. The second corner kick of the game, the first one of this half. This one played in just outside the penalty area, cleared by Noah. Big clear.
Yeah, that cross just hung up there a little too much. She would have liked it to be whipped in a little bit more. Would Fainus, but
Urgency, Black, urgency!
can you hear just the coaching and all the players on that Husson bench just urging their team forward.
Big one! Up and go, come on! Urgency! Quick! Again, get up! 17's pushing from behind!
Come on, Deb, come on, Deb!
Read the play, read the play!
Pangburn chested down. Picked up by Johnson immediately. Turnover in a dangerous area. Trying to find Pangburn. Pangburn with the shot. Atkinson knocks it down.
The chance came to her, and in the end, it's just right at Atkinson.
Atkinson, 5 games ago, allowed 6 goals versus Plattsburgh. Since then, she hasn't allowed 1. 4 straight games, shutout streak for her.
And again, just the Badgers seem to have Husson figured out defensively.
Good play by Gerfin, shutting that counterattack down.
Time.
It's hard to believe with the game they've had today that this back line plus Atkinson allowed 6 goals in a game.
Well, it is. I mean, you can definitely see that improvement from every player. As Addie Lasley comes back on now, Dennis Mullins just trying to
Checking back in
switch
for
up
Husson,
the
number 6, Addie Lasley.
approach offensively a little bit.
Martell is going to force a corner there. The Eagles have had a couple great opportunities off their corner kicks, especially with this one taking it. Riley Speed has done a tremendous job feeding this ball in. Far corner run for the Eagles. Looking for the back post. I believe that was headed down by Nicholson. Just couldn't find the back of the net. Another shot goes wide. Another chance squandered.
Again, just not quite there with the header. And Husson, again, having to go back to the drawing board.
Here's Gerfin. Been pretty quiet so far in the second half for her versus the amount of chances she was creating in the first half. Lindsay Reed trying to settle this one down. Has to take a couple touches, lays it off to her back line of Nolt and Nicholson. Nicholson with pressure on. Takes a long shot. Nicholson!
That might be what it takes from the Eagles. That's certainly asked one or two questions of Atkinson there.
We got to have a chance for a rebound, deflection, something. You're going to hit it from there.
I like that idea from the Eagles. Trying just a different approach, mixing up their attacks. Seen that cross played into the box seemingly 100 times now, and it just has not produced the way they would have wanted to.
St. Louis. Failed cross there. Definitely was not a shot attempt. But Atkinson ends it either way. 14-10 to go. Still where we started. Tied at zeros. Clock stops under 15 minutes now for substitutions per the rule book. Not a terrible rule to have. Saves a lot of time.
Certainly.
Checking in for Johnson, number 24.
In the professional game, a lot of time wasting, and that just eliminates that aspect of the game. Especially given that there is no added time given by the referee. When the clock hits zero, the game is done, so it just ensures that you are getting the most out of
Olivia
the game.
Davis for Johnson took a shot there. It looked like to take a deflection, and it will be a corner for the Badgers. Anus will take it. Way clear. That was done. Just getting the ball and sending it over to the business center.
Yeah, anywhere will do for Dunn on that one, but I mean, it wasn't the most dangerous of balls, but it did land very softly and controlled by a Johnson player. So again, Dunn just making sure that they don't let anything happen.
Jackie Pangburn, one-on-one situation. What can she do with it? Has Dunn running on. She's going to try to give it to Dunn. Slide tackle in the box. Play on, says referee. Eagles up in arms. Devin St. Louis takes a touch to the side. Takes the shot. Off the post. No go called. They'll call it a goal. St. Louis off the crossbar and in. Side judge called it a goal. Eagles with a 1-0 advantage with 12:22 to go in the second half. And they finally break through.
Number 13, Devin St. Louis.
The Eagles get their reprieve, Caden. They got the goal that they so wanted. One or two shouts about a penalty, but at the end of the day, the ball crosses the line. And Johnson's defense that has played so well here and finally conceded.
And with 4 posts hit this game, it was almost bound. It's almost poetic that the goal that went in hit the crossbar and crossed the goal line. Jillian Long checked in for the goal scorer. Now she's trying to get one of her own. That one touched away. Will be a corner for the Eagles. Riley Speed will take it.
And they won't be
Into the game
too
for
much of a
Husson,
rush
number
to take
20,
this one, having
Jillian Long.
scored that. But you got to feel now, strike while the iron is hot.
This will be another far corner run. 7 Eagles set up on the far side of the 18. Speed plays it in. Atkinson punches it away. Jillian Long tries to volley it down, but it will be a goal kick.
Gotta win the first ball every time. What?
Seems Johnson have almost settled into a more defensive stance now. Only playing the 1 striker, did have 2 to start this game.
Yeah, not
Had
really.
to drop back into more midfielders just to help the pressure the Eagles were sustaining. But now, with 10, just under 11 minutes to go, you'd have to imagine they'd go with more strikers here.
And again, just 4 changes for them. Just trying to get some energy back into that team. But certainly, they'll want to look to be a little bit more offensive. Have to look for a way back into this game now with others like Jenna Jones and Stefanik.
Big tackle by Nicholson in the midfield, turns it over. Gerfin dumps it back off to her back line.
Forward. Take your time.
Here's Knoll.
Take your face.
You'd have to imagine they're just trying to time kill now.
I think they want a second one definitely, Caden, for that assurance.
10 to go.
Hey, let Jill
Well, this has been a
take it.
very strange game. If you look at the box score, you'd have to imagine this game.
Into the game for Johnson.
It
number
feels like this
22,
game is almost at a 3-0, 4-0 point. The Eagles just
Number 15,
haven't been able to capitalize up
Number 10,
until
Abby Davis.
13 minutes to go. When Devin St. Louis finally put it in off the crossbar. Jillian Long trying to have a touch across. Lindsay Reed picks it up. She's trying to find somewhere to go with it. This one takes a deflection off a Badger. Riley Speed will pick it up, try to settle it down, and she'll get a throw in for the Eagles.
Jillian, aim for Jackie. Jackie, back up. Jackie, back up.
Have to see now what they can do with this throw in here.
Taya Gerfin settles it down, gives it off to Dunn. Fake step by Dunn. She gives it away to Speed on the side. Speed gets it right back up towards the middle. She's going to find her defender, Nolt, who plays it in to the far side, trying to find Lasley. Lasley takes a jump, but over her head, off the bounce, and it'll be a throw in for Johnson.
Yeah, Husson, they're not rushing it, being patient, just trying to get really get a good fortified attack. Of course, the ball just too long that time over the head of Lasley, but and you got to feel that they are going to want a second goal here. Certainly, we've seen teams come back from situations like this. I'm thinking, of course, of that Bates game where there were 2 goals very quick, where they looked like there would be none. A second goal here for Husson would really, really emphasize what a good game they have had here.
So an interesting substitution here.
Marilla Corletto.
Eagles going more defense, taking Jackie Pangburn out and putting Corletto in. Normally it's Corletto and Lindsay Reed alternating for each other in the defensive midfield spot. But Eagles will take out their striker and go 2 central defensive midfielders. Here is Corletto. She'll dump it off to Paige Dunn. Finds Lasley. All the time in the world. With her speed, she takes it down the line. trying to find Jillian Long, excuse me. Eagles keep the possession. Here's Knoll. Trying to get a through ball placed in there. Atkinson will get down on it. She'll take this one rather quickly.
Just trying to catch the Eagles here.
Weird bounce off Nicholson. Knoll is going to have to be forced to take this one. And she'll just clear it far, far away. Jenna Jones applying the pressure.
Sending everybody up here, Caden. This is one of their prime chances here to get back into this game.
Foul called, I believe, on Jones. It will be a free kick for the Eagles. Just under 7 to go.
Just a little too aggressive. They're trying to win the ball back. Again, they can see the time is not on their side, and fortunately for them, they commit the foul, but Husson won't be in too much of a rush to take this one.
Run right through! Run right through! No foul, no foul.
How do you feel about this type of strategy late in games where it's more, we don't care about finding a feet, just clear it for a long throw in? We've seen 3 straight now by the Eagles. Don't really care about finding a foot, just more care about getting the Badgers throw in deep, deep away from the attacking zone.
Yeah, it really depends on the team that you're playing. Against a team like the Badgers, I would absolutely encourage it. But again, when you get to certain teams, maybe like Bates, maybe like the Bowdoin team, a team that has just such strength offensively, I wouldn't say that would be the best strategy. But again, Dennis Mullen's feeling that this is the strategy for his team. With that substitution, taking Pangburn off to just ensure that they are solid defensively.
Addie Lasley applying the pressure on the back line. She'll take it. She'll just kill all the time. Sets across. Paige Dunn trying to hit it off the volley.
Manage the game! Manage the game!
We can see there, just as you were saying, Caden, it's just all hands on defense for the Eagles here. Not too many Eagles forward on that attack.
No foul, no foul. To the corner right.
Long ball to Nault. This one's going to kill a lot more time. Johnson has to reset now. Under 5 to go.
Again, the pressure almost paying off there for Johnson, but just a good recovery.
Pushing the back on Nicholson will allow for a free kick for the Badgers. Couple dangerous free kick opportunities so far. This one far out of reach to do anything with.
Addie, a little higher. Right, drop on 1-5.
Straight out of bounds. Not what you'd like to see from Johnson. Trying to score a goal here late in this game. Trying to get that equalizer. All the way out to Weigler. Weigler, 2 Johnson strikers on her. She'll just get it right back to where it came from. Nicholson.
Now get up! Bounce, bounce, bounce! Drive, drive!
No foul called. Lasley has it. She'll just take it right to the flag. No strategy other than to kill time. This won't be a throw-in for the Eagles, and that will allow for more time to come off the clock. Just about 3 minutes to go now. And what has been a very entertaining game nonetheless.
As this second half has really opened up, and again, just pressurized sort of game here where Husson have been dominant on everything but the score sheet. As it stands, just the 1 goal in it.
And I feel like with 2 pretty much of the best defensive teams in the North Atlantic Conference, It always felt like it might come down to this. It was just the Eagles scoring 18 yesterday that might have skewed everybody's opinions about how good this offense really was. But this Johnson defense was up to the task. Kept them in this game for just about 78 minutes until Devin St. Louis found the back of the net. And now Johnson just trying to find some offense, but they haven't been able to create today.
Well, it's all about focus from this point on. From an Eagles standpoint, you just got to ensure that you weren't making the wrong decision.
2 shots on the day for Johnson. One coming from that Fairchild free kick opportunity almost up by the circle.
Certainly been a case for them of almost.
And they called this one a corner. They said it was off of Nicholson. And this is a send everybody situation if you're Johnson. This is a dangerous corner with 1.5 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, again, from an Eagles standpoint, you just got to focus on what's in front of you, focus on defending this.
Ball's taken, immediately cleared by Knoll. A big clearance from the reigning defensive player of the year in the North Atlantic Conference. And this is going to allow Lasley to take it. She's going to kill plenty of time here. Takes it around. 2-on-1 opportunity now, but she's just going to run out of stamina, take it right towards the flag, and defend it as long as possible. It will go out for an Eagles throw-in. What a defensive play by Kaylee Nolt.
Yeah, it was. It certainly maybe didn't look the most dangerous ball, but who knows, that ball could have fallen anywhere. But just great awareness. And now Husson an opportunity to just see out this game.
Gives it all the way back to Reed.
You have to feel that was maybe Johnson's last chance to really get something from this game. Stranger things have happened.
Good job, girls. Keep it up. 20 seconds.
20 seconds remain. Eagles go 2-0 on the weekend. Beat Linden yesterday 18-0. Squeeze out a victory here today against Johnson. And they will improve to 3-0-1 in the North Atlantic Conference, living up to the preseason poll #1 ranking. The defending champions take another victory in the NAC.
Well, in the end, Caden, Evan St. Louis with that vital strike. I mean, Husson can just really breathe a sigh of relief after this one. This was a game that they did not want to lose. I mentioned winning streaks and all that. The streak reaches 23 games now, but from Johnson's standpoint, I mean, they played their hearts out defensively. They frustrated the Eagles for really the most of that game, but had maybe 1 or 2 chances that they just couldn't get on the end of. They would have felt that if they would have, this game would have been totally different. But as it stands, the Eagles show their resilience, Caden, and they respond with just a gritty performance here today.
I think we're in for a really fun North Atlantic Conference playoff run between your defending champions, Husson University Eagles. This Johnson defensive side played unreal and could definitely steal a couple games and find their way representing the West. MMA putting together a pretty good team. And then Leslie, of course, having a great weekend last week and tying the Eagles, their first non-win since last season in the North Atlantic Conference. We are due for a very fun season in NAC play. 1-0 is your final score. 36 minutes. We'll bring you the men's side of this game as the men's take on Johnson as they're hoping for the same result. Caden Trenna with alongside Philip Robarge. 36 minutes till the men's kickoff time.